As a general rule, streaming is all about the storytelling. And when you're streaming a worship service, you have built in the greatest story ever told. It is compelling, it is emotional, it is life-changing. But it's your job, the one in charge of the stream, to make sure you have it framed in the way it should be, highlighting the truth that is contained therein, delivering this transformative message from where you are in the church to where they are in their homes. And there's no doubt, it is an incredible privilege. It's a story that can be told anytime, any place, by anyone. But when we tell it in the church streaming venue, it is the streamer's responsibility to make sure distractions are removed. Now, you want to be able to give your viewers 2 or 3 shots of varying depth. You want to be able to layer your camera setups. The shots and camera angles that you choose, will be very important. I would suggest an overall shot of your platform, one that allows to be seen all that's going on at one time. We'd want to scoot back from this shot just a little bit and give ourselves enough that we can see from side to side all the things that are happening. Another of the angles we might want to use is going to be a side shot. Now, this can be zoomed in a little bit. We can go ahead and bring that so it's just the instrumentalists who are doing their thing if we want to, and that way it brings our audience in a little bit closer to what's actually happening at in-person worship. So we have a full wide stage shot. We also have a zoomed in so that whatever is happening within the shot. Now that wide stage shot can be static. It can be one you just go back to when things transition. If you have a minister who walks, who moves while they deliver the message, then you'll need to be able to go back to that shot sometimes because they walk out of frame. But this intermediate shot where you have the instrumentalists or the praise team or whoever it is highlighted in that shot is an important one that draws our audience in a little bit closer. And then of course you want to have that shot that can be front and center or it can be a little bit off to the side that just gives a zoomed in focus on the message. So if your minister, your pastor, your preacher is one who stands still, then you have the benefit of being able to hold that shot and allow him to deliver a message. Now, I would suggest you go ahead and mix that side shot in every now and then so that it's not always the same, but it gives you the freedom to be able to relax a little bit as the person in charge of the live stream so that you're not so focused on production and you can actually benefit from the service yourself. Now, if they are one who moves about quite a bit across your platform, now mine is very small. I don't have a whole lot of room to move, but if I did, I could either zoom out enough to catch all of where I could walk, or I could choose to go ahead and preset some shots from the varying cameras. So I could zoom this one in as tight as I wanted to, and then go ahead and use my secondary shot from the side or from the other side if I'm running a 3-camera system to be able to run the different shots. Now, I will say this, if you're one who uses the Mevo system of cameras, you'll be able to set your presets if you only use one camera, because the Mevo app, not the multicam app, but the Mevo app, which is now labeled Logitech Mevo, gives you the ability to do static shot presets. And so you can set it up to be a little bit zoomed in, a little bit zoomed out, and zoomed and in the direction of whatever is happening on the platform at the time. Sound for the at-home audience is at least as important as sight. For the church that runs sound through a soundboard, you're going to want to have each of the mic'd participants running through a matrix or a mix. I'm not a sound engineer, and so I don't really understand all of it. I know just enough to get myself in trouble on a soundboard. However, I do know that whenever I need to change what happens for our individual instrumentalists or vocalists, I can do that on this soundboard. And I know that we have at our church through this PreSonus Studio Live 32 digital soundboard, I know we have a mix that runs for the stream. And so we have the ability to put our headphones on, select that stream, and go ahead and sound check what we're sending. Now, I still need to sound check what is actually coming through the stream, and I'm usually able to do that at some point during sound check in the mornings before Sunday school. But we need to make sure that we have everybody who's going to be participating mic'd in some shape, form, or fashion. We do that with an out from the sound that we have in the soundboard, and we monitor that through that stream mix. If you're a smaller church and you don't have a board such as this, you may choose to go ahead and individually mic each of your participants with a small wireless lapel mic, like the second generation Rode Wireless Go or the Hollyland Lark 150 or even the Saramonic Blink 500. Those are good solid solutions that run a wireless microphone from the person who has a voice or even an instrument into your stream. And we've been able to do that fairly successfully. There's been a time here at this church where we've been able to run out. We used a main balanced out XLR to 3.5 millimeter into the transmitter of a Rode Wireless Go, and then ran the receiver over onto the back of a Mevo Start, and the sound was really pretty good just doing it like that, so that they're getting house mixed sound. We weren't even mixing a separate mix for the stream. But you can also, like we do for our radio broadcast, we have a small FM repeater that just covers about 1/4 mile here in the parking lot, and it allows us to just set a microphone there at the pulpit to pick up our guitarist, our pianist, and our vocalists, kind of an unmixed sound, but it's something that the folks who are listening in their cars, because they're not ready to come back into in-person worship yet, it allows them to pick up and hear. So using those little lapel mics as an open air mic that allows whatever sound is presented to be picked up is a good solution as well. Now, if you're a extremely small church or a home church, you may rely on just the microphone that's built into your camera. The Mevo Start has a great 3-mic array that does a good job of picking up in a small setting, and it allows what the message is to be communicated very well. And while we're on the topic of music, let me go ahead and give a warning that I've learned about copyright. If you're going to stream to Facebook and you use canned music, you're going to have to get pretty good at hitting the mute button. Anytime Facebook picks up on copyrighted canned music, they will cut your stream. There will be no warning. There will be no advance notice. They will just simply cut your stream. It may not even come through to your streaming software that it's been cut. My advice is get good at using the mute button, but it's of great benefit to choose wisely the platform you stream to, or to use live music. I say choose wisely the platform you stream to because YouTube, although they'll send you a copyright claim, if you're not a monetized channel, there is nothing that's going to keep you from putting that on your YouTube channel long term. But if you're able to use live music, and sometimes to be considered live music, you can run a canned track but have a group that sings over it and get by with it. It's kind of up to you as to whether that works or not. I'm definitely not the expert on it. But if you have the ability to use live music, that's a much better option for copyright infringement. One of the most fruitful ministries of the live streamed church service is the interaction you're able to have from the folks who are in person to the folks who are at home. If you don't already have a volunteer who mans the live stream in person and is able to interact with those who are watching from home, go ahead and enlist that volunteer, because that's incredibly valuable. For them to be able to welcome the folks who are at home into the church service through that live stream is an incredible benefit. Those who can't make it to the in-person service will feel so much more a part of your church family when you have them welcomed in such a way. Repeating the points made in the sermon, being able to take prayer requests, all of those pieces will make the experience of those who are watching at home as close as possible to actually being there.